Hello, this is Anna with Anna D. Scratch and Crafts, about to take you on a journey, either scratching cards or showing you some of my artwork. Whichever it is, sit back and enjoy the video. Hello, this is Anna. Today I have one of my craft sessions. I've been painting. This one's taken me a while. I kind of put it aside and then I finally got back to it and finished it up. Right now what I'm doing is what I normally do is I take my canvas and I start covering it with the base colors, and that's all I'm doing is putting down a base color, a little bit of sky, a little bit of ground, kind of hitting the sides. I like hitting the sides just in case they show. Since I don't frame my pictures, I just kind of put them up on the wall as is. Right now what I'm putting in is kind of a hill. Again, this is just the base. Also, what you're seeing here, it came with a new paint kit. I used it, but I wasn't real happy with it. Maybe for some small projects it'd work, but for actually mixing up a lot of the colors and stuff, it wasn't the greatest. What I'm doing in the background right now is just throwing in some trees. Again, this is just background. And I'm just trying to make them look like there's trees way back in the back. Kind of making up a tiny little forest. Then bringing some of them down to the front. And as I bring them down to the front, they do get a little bit bigger. But then again, they're still kind of far away. The hill is what's going to be the close-up. Everything else is going to be back. And now I decided what I was going to put in was a little house. So that's what I'm doing now. Again, just putting in the basic background colors, putting in the shape. So I got the walls up. Now I'm working on the roof, so a little bit different in the colors. But again, this is just roughing out the background. And as you rough out, you can paint over, change, put something more into it. Yeah, now I'm putting in a little pathway that gets down to there. Start out with brown, put a little white in, a little more color. Now I'm throwing in some more trees. They're a little bit further back. And now I'm let everything dry, because now I'm putting in the one tree that I'm going to put in the foreground. Again, this is just throwing in some branches, giving it some definition. And soon, yep, there goes my roots. Way too many roots, but then again, like I said, I'm just putting in definitions and backgrounds. I will go back later, as you'll see, kind of cover up some of those roots, let some of them show, just kind of like they do. Some of the roots stick out of the ground. Some of them are just bumps underneath the ground. And now I'm putting some coloring and shading on the bark of the tree. Again, playing around till I get it to the colors that I want. Little highlights, a little different colors. Adding just a little bit as I go on. Actually, I'm sitting here watching it. As I paint, I'm painting. Now I'm actually seeing what I'm doing as I'm painting. Again, throwing in some colors, some highlights, trying to put some definition and form to it. And if you pay attention to the arm, again, if you see bruising on my arms while I'm doing things, it's just simply because of the blood thinners that I take. I do tend to bruise rather quickly. Now I'm putting another path in. You'll see it'll come up to where the hill is, and it'll disappear back behind the hill. Now I'm back to the house. I'm putting in some boards, putting in some definition, putting in some roofing slates. I'll be shortly putting in a door and some windows. Again, highlighting. I think what I did there is I overdid it, so I put back my base again. And I'm back now to redefining everything. There goes my door. A kind of an old cabin. It's been sitting there a while. And now I'm putting in a little well next to the cabin. It's not as if this is out in the city where it's got city hookup. Nope, you need a little well water. And then back to kind of defining the path a little bit more. Very rarely is a path just brown. It's got different colors in it, different shades of dirt and rocks. Now I'm defining the hill just a little bit more. Just to give it a bit more definition, make it stand out from the background. And as you see, I have gone back to using my little plate, not the little saucer that you saw before. And I'm kind of trying to redo some of my clouding. Throw some clouds in. Still need to work on them. I'm getting better. Trying to define the clouds. And now that has dried and I'm back again to redoing the roots. And then I pick up a little foam that I had, and I'm using it to dab in my leaves and some of the definitions of the grass in front. And now I'm highlighting. What you see right in the front on the bottom right hand side is, again, if you saw my little setup, I've got my magnifying mirror just a little in the way of the camera. The camera's sitting higher than the mirror or my light. So it's going to be in the way for a while simply because I goofed. So you're not going to see a little bit of what I'm doing at the bottom. What I am doing at the bottom right now is I'm putting the path going in front of the hill. So you can see part of the path goes down to the house, the other part takes a trip to the right. And now what I'm doing, if you can see some of it showing up, I'm putting in some little flowers, some little color, some little wild into that hill. Now what you'll see me doing, because I mixed up some of the darker colors, I'm going to be putting in some bushes. Again, the dark color underneath, then adding some little highlight and definition to it. Real simple, just basic shapes. Now, yeah, I'm putting in down at the bottom some colors into the valley. And yes, I overextended up into the sky. You saw me wiping some of that away. And I'm using my fingers to kind of dab away some of the colors. Needed to clean up the house a little bit. Need to clean up the sky, so I figured, nope, I needed another cloud. And let's put some more definition into my clouds, which is what I'm doing now. Now I've got the light out of the way and you can see me working some more on the path. With the light out of the way, you can see that I did put some bushes down at the front near the path, and I put in a little more definition. I'm finishing up. I'm basically at the end of the painting. So thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Hope you enjoyed seeing me do the paintings. It's been a while since I put out a craft. So thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. I hope you enjoyed this, going along with me as my painting. I do have other paintings in the work. You'll see them in the future. So wherever you're at, have a very good day, good night, and I will see you in my next video, which will probably be scratching. But like I said, I do have some other painting that's coming up, and I hope you enjoy those as well. So until then, bye-bye.